Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of Python's absolute powerhouses, the dictionary. Seriously, if you need to store and manage connected data, this is going to be your go-to tool.
You know, the best way to get this is to think of a phone book. You don't read a phone book from start to finish, right? No way. You look up a name, that's your key, and it instantly gives you the number, that's your value. Python dictionaries work on that very same idea. Super fast, direct lookup.
So what's really going on under the hood here? What makes a dictionary a dictionary? Well, it all comes down to one simple, powerful concept. And that is the key-value pair. Every single piece of information, what we call a value, is tied to a unique label, the key. That direct connection is the secret to why they're so fast. And remember this part, it's super important. Every key has to be unique. Here's what it actually looks like in code. See? The key name points to the value Akil, and the key age points to 19. The whole thing is wrapped up in these curly braces. This simple little structure, it's the foundation for everything else we're about to do. All right, enough theory. Let's get our hands dirty. How do you actually build one of these things? And just as important, how do you get your data back out when you need it? You've basically got two main ways to go about this. You can start with an empty dictionary, just a pair of curly braces, and then add your data piece by piece. Or if you already know what you want to put in there, you can just build it all at once, just like that student example we just saw. And this is a really critical question, right? Because storing data is only half the job. Now you need to pull out a specific piece of information that's tucked away inside your dictionary. Okay, pay close attention here because this is a big deal. You can use square brackets with the key, like you see on the left. But, and trust me on this, if that key doesn't exist, your whole program will crash. It just stops. Game over. The much safer, professional way to do it is with the .get method on the right. If the key is missing, it doesn't crash. It just returns a default value that you can choose, like not found. This is how you write code that doesn't break. Now, dictionaries are not static. They're meant to be changed. They're living things. You're never just stuck with the data you start with. So let's check out the essential skills you need to manage that data while your program is running. Day to day, when you're working with dictionaries, you're pretty much always going to be doing one of these three things: adding new stuff, updating what's already there, or getting rid of data you don't need anymore. Let's see how that works. And what's really cool about Python is how elegant this is. It's so simple. If you assign a value to a key that's already there, like age, it just updates it. But if you use a key that doesn't exist yet, like email, Python just goes ahead and creates a brand new entry for you. The exact same syntax handles both adding and updating. It's great. When it's time to take something out, you've got a few different tools in your toolbox. Pop lets you target and remove an item using its specific key. Pop item is kind of interesting. It just removes the last item you added. And then there's the del keyword, which also deletes by key. Each one has its place. Okay. So we can handle individual pieces of data. But the real game changer, the thing that makes dictionaries so powerful, is when you can process every single item inside one automatically. This is called looping, or iteration. And that right there is the big secret to working with them effectively. I mean, think about it. Most of the time, just the key or just the value isn't enough. You need them together to understand what's going on. And lucky for us, there's a perfect method for that. So yeah, you could loop through just the keys with .keys or just the values with .values, but .items, that's the real powerhouse. It gives you both the key and the value together on every single step of the loop. This is almost always what you're going to want to use. Okay, so let's see how all of this comes together in a real-world project. We're going to use everything we've just learned, creating, accessing with .get, and updating to build a simple but super common tool, a word frequency counter. So here's our mission. We've got this sentence, and our job is to write a program that can tell us exactly how many times each unique word shows up. This is a classic task in data analysis, and dictionaries make it almost trivial. So, first things first, we need a place to store our results, right? We'll start by making a totally empty dictionary called counts. The words are going to become our keys, and the number of times we see them will be the values. And this right here, this single line of code is where all the magic happens. We loop through every word, and for each word, we use our safe.get method. We ask the dictionary, hey, what's the current count for this word? If it's a new word we haven't seen before, .get gives us our default, 0.
Then we just add one to whatever we get back and save it. It handles the first time we see a word and every other time perfectly.
And boom, there it is. After the loop is done, we print our counts dictionary, and we've got this perfect summary. It figured out that Python and is show up twice, and all the other words just show up once. That's it.
And the data proves it worked. We can look right in there and see the key Python has a value of 2. It's a perfect count, and it shows just how powerful this simple approach really is.
So let's just do a quick recap of the really important stuff. Dictionaries are all about storing connected data in those key value pairs. Always use .get to access data safely so your code doesn't crash. And remember that .items is your best friend when it comes to looping. As we just proved, you can solve real-world problems with just a few lines of really clean code.
But really, this is just the beginning. Think about what you could do with this. You could count votes, track inventory, analyze text, anything. The dictionary is a fundamental building block in programming. So the real question is, what are you going to build with it?